You think you know what is real and what isn't. What is light? What is dark? Now, forget all you know. Come with me.
Well, when I started my career in 1981, I mean, there wasn't a lot of talk of diversity. But, you know, when you think about Willow, the original movie, that was really groundbreaking in the fact that I was cast as the central character, the hero, if you like. Normally that was left to the kind of tall, dark, handsome kind of actor. But yeah, I was a very unlikely casting, I think. And so that was really opening the doors in the very kind of early thoughts of any kind of diversity, I suppose. Our true enemy is still out there, rallying the forces of evil, and the only thing standing in its path is us.
I'm going to enjoy this.
If you're thinking what I'm thinking, so am I.
I doubt that very much. Take him to my tent and make sure he's tied up.
I don't know. See, that kind of sounds like we're on the same page.
Well, it's strange. No, I didn't need convincing to do this because I was involved with the project from its very early inception. And I was involved with the project from its very early inception. You know, in the fact that I had discussions with John Kasdan whilst we worked on the film Solo. You know, he was a huge fan of the original film, and when Ron Howard came onto Solo as a director, they started having lots of discussions about taking the story further and how it could be done. And so I was brought into those discussions. So, you know, I didn't need convincing to do this because I was one of the people that encouraged it to happen and was keen to go back to the character, as I have been for many years. You know, I listen to the fans everywhere I go. You know, every day if I'm in a gas station getting petrol, somebody might run up to me and say, "Hey, Warwick, I love Willow. I grew up watching that movie. And now I've shown it to my kids. We'd love to see more." And so this series is really for those people who have supported the film all these years since it came out. Well, for me, doing Willow in the series, it was about leaning into the me of now. So in other words, I'm 52 now, not 17 anymore, so I didn't want to try and play him young. I just leaned into the fact that I'm a bit older, a lot wiser, a lot more worldly now. So that's what I brought to the character. And I also thought it was very important that we brought the humour along. So anytime we could see that there was an opportunity for a funny line or a funny moment in the series, we'd go for it and just see how it worked. Because I think that's really important to bring humour in. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously. You know, we're there to entertain and have a laugh with the audience, have a bit of fun together. Well, I'll tell you what, we're living in a very troubled world, a very difficult time, aren't we? And I think, for me, cinema and television is designed for escapism. You know, you want to sit in front of your screen or go to the movie theatre and you want to escape from reality of life. Just for a few minutes, be transported somewhere else, you know, even though, you know, sometimes you're watching some fantasy that might also have a lot of troubles in it, it doesn't remind you of the real world. And, yeah, people want to escape and imagine they're somewhere else and sort of impress themselves onto these characters, which I think you can do in Willow because there's so many different characters in there that I'm sure many of the audience can identify with, and you can kind of travel there with them and go on this great adventure. No, I haven't. No, I don't actually know whether he's seen any of it yet. But I haven't seen George since we started shooting the series. But would love to kind of see and hear what he thinks about what we've done. You know, I'm certainly really, really proud of it, and yeah, would love to get his thoughts on it. It's exciting. Because after all, he is the father of Willow. You know, he established this world, created it, and established all these characters, which we do, you know, justice to in our series. We explore it further in a much more in-depth way than we were able to in the 2-hour film. Well, you know, making this series was an intense experience because you're, in a sense, making several motion pictures back to back. You know, it's as much effort that goes into an actual theatrical movie, but you're doing that kind of 8 times over almost. And I'm not as young as I was. Physically, it's quite demanding. You're working outdoors much of the time. And John had the wisdom to write one of the episodes completely in the rain, so we were wet for what was weeks in this big battle scene. Yes, it looks amazing on screen, but it was absolute hell to shoot. We'll never forget that. The episode's called Battle of the Slaughtered Lamb. I felt like I'd been slaughtered at the end of it.